Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us with our Leading with Emotional Intelligence and Coaching information session this morning. We're going to just go over a few things on what this three full day class in August, what you will learn. We will be speaking with the instructor. She will be joining us this morning as well, and go over any questions you may have and the logistics of the program. So why don't we, there we go. So my name is Bridget Zaragoza, and I'm the program manager at UC Davis Continuing Professional Education. And I have been there for a few years in our management and leadership. We are joined today by Dawn Connor, which is the instructor for this class. Dawn, would you like to say hi?
Yep. Hello there, everybody. In cyber world.
Virtual world.
Yep.
Well, thanks for joining us again, Dawn. And we will go to the next slide. Or actually, before we go to the next slide, I just wanted to launch a poll just so we kind of get an introduction of all of you who have joined us this morning. I'm going to launch a poll. What best describes your role in your organization? So if you can do that, just so we kind of see who's joined with us this morning. Great, I'm seeing a lot of the senior managers and directors, others, supervisors. Individual contributor. Okay, let me go ahead and share this. There is quite a few mix of everyone here this morning. So hopefully we'll be able to answer all your questions and see if this specific class fits your needs and what you're looking for. So thank you all for joining again this morning.
Okay. So, ready?
Let's go.
Let's see if I got it going on. Oh, there you go.
Thanks, Dawn. So in this information session this morning, one, we will answer why should I take this course? Two, what can I expect to learn? And who is the instructor? And again, that's Dawn, and she's with us this morning. And three, what if I still have questions? So all these three will be addressed this morning. So why should I take Leading with Emotional Intelligence and Coaching? At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Dawn, and she's going to go into a little bit on what you guys will actually learn in class.
So welcome. Thank you for letting Bridget and I share some of your time this morning. Happy Monday. And so why should you take this course? Well, here's the thing. We're finding that more and more your level of emotional intelligence really does impact your ability to be successful in your career. The evidence is increasingly compelling. The measurable, learnable skills of emotional intelligence make a significant impact, not just on your performance, but if your organization is emotionally intelligent, that really makes things rise to the top. And it may be essential to differentiating world-class organizations in a complex and competitive marketplace. And here's the interesting thing. I mean, I've always thought that emotional intelligence really had wonderful application, but really in today's world, we talk about resilience with this pandemic and our ability to not manage our emotions, but to be with them and understand them and work with them. And so as part of this 3-day program, we include an assessment on your emotional intelligence. It's a self-assessment. And it follows these 3 categories: know yourself, choose yourself, and give yourself. And there are 8 competencies within those. You take this to figure out a point in time where you're at. And then we talk about how can you raise that? What does it mean to have emotional literacy or to apply consequential thinking? Or what does it mean if you have a high level of empathy? Because it's not just empathy with other people, it's self-empathy. And knowing what's going on, your ability to deal with things that are changing, that are new, that are different, is substantially increased. And so I'm very excited that this assessment is part of this 3-day class, because it really sets you up to figure out, where am I today, and what do I want to spend time and energy learning about? So the assessment is a beautiful thing. And along with that, the importance of a manager as coach. So a lot of you, several of you, are in some level of leadership or management role. And even if you're an individual contributor, you lead yourself. And you can be an emergent leader within your organization. And according to the Clifton and Harder in their new book from Gallup, It's the Manager, employees want to be coached, not directed. When you coach, which is to be more ask assertive than direct, it changes everything. And the interesting thing about it is, I know if you're not asking the question, you probably will be. And that is, yeah, but doesn't asking take more time than just telling people what to do? And it does. But if you build a culture or an environment where you ask more than you tell, people also learn to make better decisions, and make decisions that don't always have to come to a manager, a director, or whatever, which means they're more self-sufficient. And I've been a manager for a lot of years, and I got to tell you, I like folks that are self-sufficient, because then we're really spending time doing the things that we need to do. So what can you expect to learn, and who am I? Because that's always important. So I'm your instructor. That's me. I'm Dawn Carner. I am a certified coach through the International Coach Federation as a professional certified coach. And I'm also a board certified coach with the Center for Credentialing and Education. And what that really means is there's a lot of training and education about how to coach. And I coach people. In fact, this morning I had a coaching client at 8:30. So I do it regularly. And I'm not going to make you into what I do, but I am going to help you learn skills to apply a type of being, a coaching way of being in the workplace that gets you really great results. Additionally, I'm certified in the 6 Seconds Emotional Intelligence model. I'm a certified assessor for the assessment that will be part of your program. And I'm also master certified in the emotional intelligence process, along with being certified in conversational intelligence. So I've got a lot of background and skills, and I like sharing that. And so this program really kind of wraps them all together in a great 3-day program. So here's an interesting piece. Have you ever been told something like, leave your feelings at the door, this is just business? I have, and that was a long time ago, but it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me then, and now I know why. So the question for you is, do you think this is possible? And so Bridget's going to launch a poll, and you just stream of consciousness. How do you feel about this? Is it possible to leave your emotions at the door?
There are a lot of people who are saying no.
Pretty much everybody's saying no.
Yeah.
Few people, yes. One person, yes. Absolutely.
Okay, I will go ahead and end it and share it, Dawn.
Okay, perfect. So a lot of you said no. Somebody said yes. That's okay. Here's the thing about your emotions. They're part of who you are. And to say that you could leave them at the door and not bring them with you isn't exactly accurate. Now, can you not bring them in if you have a personal issue and you need to get down to the business of work? Can you kind of not bleh all over everybody? And the answer to that is yes. But a lot of people don't have enough emotional intelligence and skill to know how to do that effectively without feeling like they're not themselves. So you show up with everything. You show up with all your emotions and all your thought process, and ultimately how you process through or understand how to be emotionally intelligent helps you to bring them into the workplace but not make them a distractor. So pretty much you're all right. It's kind of a non-political thing to say, but in a lot of ways you are. It's the perspective of what you bring to it. So what I'd like you to do, and these are things that we'll spend more time on in the 3-day class, but if you could just take a minute, and I'll just, keep track, or Bridget, if you want to keep track of the time, we just want to take a minute, and I'd like you to write down on a piece of paper everything you feel at this moment. You don't judge it. You just write down the words that come to you, whatever they are. So we'll start that now, and just take a minute and write down everything that shows up for you. And I'll do the same. It'll be fun.
Okay, we're halfway through.
Great. Thanks for the time check.
Mm-hmm. Okay, minutes up.
Okay. Awesome. So let's take a check. How many folks had, do you have a poll for this, by the way? Or we have
Yes.
buckets?
Yes.
Awesome. We'll wait. I'll be patient, and I'll wait for Bridget to launch that.
Okay.
So find, how many feelings did you come up with? It's a multiple choice. 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, or more than 15. Okay, just waiting for a couple more people to pop in.
I'll go ahead and end it now.
Okay. Okay. So our largest group is 1 to 5. We have several people that are in the 6 to 10. If I voted, I would be in that group of 11 to 15. And I think what I'd like to say about this is it really highlights for us the fact that we have multiple emotions showing up at any given time. It's not like they're, not with us. It's part of our physiology. It's part of who we are. And some of those make sense. And some of them, there's a broad range of them. I'm all the way from tired and intrigued to strong and calm. So it's to illustrate for us the value of, at any given moment, as human beings, we have tons of different emotions going through us, and what we do with them makes a difference in how we process, how we do things, how we interact with other people. And really, if I were to say one thing in total, I would say that your emotional intelligence has a strong, strong correlation to your ability to create, enhance, and maintain relationships. And when it comes to your work, who can't use that? So we look at emotional intelligence is our ability to be compassionate, to think about other people and how things affect them. It helps us to connect with each other, to make a connection. And I got to tell you, people that I connect with are so much easier to work with, so much easier to work with. And it really is self-knowledge created through awareness and maturity. Your IQ is your ability to learn. And, barring any major traumatic brain injury or disease, your IQ is your IQ is your IQ. Your emotional intelligence, or what we sometimes term EQ, is something that you can grow and develop. But on a given day, if you're really stressed, if things aren't working well for you, your ability to access and utilize that can be impacted. And so we'll look at all of those things. But ultimately, it creates leaders that you want to follow. And leaders aren't really helpful if nobody wants to follow them. So it really is a strong correlation from a leadership standpoint, from a workplace standpoint, whether you are leading yourself or a team or an entire organization. You want to be somebody people want to follow. So what if you still have questions? Bridget, what if they still have questions?
Well, if you have any questions now, please feel free to use our Q&A box at the bottom of your screen or the chat, whichever one. But and we're here if you have any questions. If you don't use that feature, I'll be checking the Q&A box right now. I will also post my information again at the end of this information session. Please reach out to me through email, calling me on the telephone, whatever is more easier for you. And I'm able to answer any questions regarding the program, your enrollment, or any other questions or concerns you might have. So please feel free throughout this information session to use the Q&A box, and I will try to answer it live or type back your answer.
And I'd be happy to answer any questions folks have too. I mean,
we talked a lot here.
Well, and we talked a lot in sharing this information about your emotional intelligence, not so much about coaching, but the two go so well together. And it's not to change everything in how you operate. It's to give you some additional tools in your toolbox so that you can begin to draw out from staff. I mean, you hire people who are, quote unquote, I've heard lots of people say the best and the brightest. Well, why not tap that? And the way to tap that is to use coaching skills like listening and asking questions to help people think and reflect and come up with their answers. I mean, use and leverage that skill set, right?
Thank you, Dawn. Okay, we can go to the next slide. So just a little logistics for this specific program. Again, it's 3 full days, which is from 9 to 4. And this program starts August 13th. And I believe that is on, is it Wednesdays? Let me just double check. Thursdays.
Thursday.
Yeah. So it's 3 consecutive Thursdays, the 13th, 20th, and the 27th. The tuition for this class is $17.95. If you were to enroll 2 weeks prior to July 30th, or actually 2 weeks before it starts, you actually can get a 10% discount for early enrollment. You can also receive a 10% discount if you if there's 3 or more that are enrolled at the same time. Like maybe you have 2 others from your organization, or just others you want to take this class with.
Bridget, question for you about that.
Yes.
So if I had 3 or more people that I wanted to enroll and we enrolled before July 30th, do we get a 20% discount or is it just 110%?
It's just 110%. Thanks for asking, Dawn. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, like all of our classes, there is limited space. So we're going to kind of go into a little bit on how we are holding our classrooms settings now. So again, we still have a maximum, or we still have a maximum amount, even though it is done virtually. So if you do have any questions regarding enrollment, please reach out to me. Just to go over a few things as well, we are now holding our classes, of course, just like everything else that everyone's doing from work, is online at home. We use our Zoom platform. We also have a platform, which is Canvas, which is a platform that will hold all your materials. We have discussions, announcements, and that is very easy to sign on. So if you were to take this class, it's like a virtual classroom in itself. So let's go to the next slide. So with our online classes, like I said, we do use Canvas. Some of our classes may include pre-recorded lectures, but pretty much all of them are all live. If you were to miss that class, you are always able to take it the following quarter or in the fall. So none of our things are recorded. We follow a schedule. We have an agenda. And to be honest, a full day class actually goes pretty quick when you're engaged in the class. So is there any questions? Wait, I'm seeing a question come through. Okay, so the question, how many hours per week of work beyond the class days? So with our courses in this specific one, this is not, it's not academic, so there is no actual like homework. There may be some, maybe a pre-work or an assessment. Dawn, would you like to touch on that?
Yeah, so the assessment you do before you come to the first class, and that usually takes people about 20 minutes, give or take.
Okay.
There is some, I call it homework, but it's more of an activity to take the content from week 1 and look at how it applies to your personal professional life and come back and talk about what you saw or what you observed or what you learned. So it's very much designed not to give you a bunch of like, you know, papers to write and stuff like that. It's designed to help you take what we talk about in the classroom and bring it into your life and figure out how it fits so that you can not just sit in a classroom for 3 days and have a good time, but what can you take away and how can you apply it? So it's as quick as we can get you to apply to personal life. So I'm going to say, you know, maybe an hour or more, depending upon how much you want to invest in between the classes, but that's negligible. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
All right, thanks. Okay, again, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A box. We'll go on to the next slide. So this is our coming to the end of our information session. Again, here is my information. If you would like to write down my email and my phone number, I can answer those emails just as quick as I get them regarding this program or any of our other leadership programs that we offer, even for next fall. If you have any questions for Dawn, I think we'll stick around just for maybe 30 seconds or so and see if there is any questions that want to come through. Okay. Okay. Dawn, did you want to say anything in this closing of the information session?
Yes. First of all, I want you all to know that I appreciate you coming to learn about what the course is and how you might apply it. You can funnel any questions that you have or think of after the fact through Bridget. And if it's not logistics or something that she can answer, she's definitely able to contact me and I will be happy to answer whatever you have. This is a passion of mine. Emotional intelligence and coaching are two very strong passions. And I really try, I mean, you have a course and you have a function, but I also try very hard to customize that to each group so that people are really coming away with the most valuable content and information they can come with. And so I just want to say thanks again. I appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.